You want to just send them a text message?
Yeah.
Just say, hey, we're getting started if you log in. And
good while now, same as my wife. 41, been here when I was 35 years old.
Yeah.
35 years.
same. Hi folks, we're gonna get started in around 10 minutes. So we're gonna do some introductions because some people are in the room. We're gonna do some introductions around the room. Karen, can you hear me fine?
A little bit louder, please.
Water's gonna pick anybody who speaks. So
I'm sorry, what's that? Oh, I picked up all the other voices as well.
right in the room. So when you're speaking, they just need
There has to be silence when people speak here. Okay, got it.
It's gonna pick anybody up that's near.
Karen, is that better? Can you hear better? Or does it need to be louder?
Yeah, it sounds, I mean, it sounds like I'm hearing a conversation that I'm not supposed to be hearing.
Do we want to turn the volume up a little bit? Is that possible? This is fine, you're saying.
Oh, you mean me turn my volume up? Hold on, I think it's on as high as it'll go.
Okay, so we're gonna start in 5 minutes. I just need it right in 4 minutes.
Okay. Go ahead and do the volume test again.
Where'd you go to school?
Mike, you want to just say
Check
something?
your grad.
Hey, Karen, it's Michael Hollingsworth. Can you hear me?
I ended up doing both degrees at University of Georgia.
I think when other people hear him talk, it picks up on their mics, which are right in front of them,
12-month
so.
MBA program.
Yeah, I think it still would help if people spoke up loudly. I'm not hearing it as clear and as loud as I do on other conferences. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Terrible.
Okay.
This is Michael. That's not loud.
So if anybody else speaks.
So Matt Knight is at
Oh,
and Rockford has to sit over there, so when your chair over closer. Get started in 2 minutes.
You want me to sit over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Matt said it was online.
Matt is online.
Oh. I tested him.
Yep. He's on. On the table that's closer, yeah. You know, actually, it's better if you're on that table. Okay. Now that I look at it.
Y'all are brave going in together.
We wish you were here.
I know, but I just, my doctor was like, Karen, conferences, I don't know.
Oh, no, I understand. It's fully understandable.
If it was outside, I would have.
Okay, so let me just get started here.
Hey, can I call you back? I'm just about to get on.
Let me get started and then.
Oh, go right ahead. And I've been on in and out today.
Sit over there for a second.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hi folks, I hope everybody can hear me. Thanks for joining. So I'm Marty Cicada. I started this group 20 years ago. So I was a working guy. I worked at Swiss Bank in Switzerland, and there's a big financial crisis, and Swiss Bank bought UBS. So I came back as part of the team to kind of fix UBS. So I started this group of working guys investing directly in private equity, and it morphed into a family office group. And since then, we've had about close to 5,000 fund sponsors and deal sponsors speak to our group. About 25,000 have approached us to discuss strategies and what they're doing with our group. So it's been very successful. We've had around 350 events, about 45,000 attendees. We went to virtual back in April, and then there was a kind of a break in COVID, so we went back to what we call hybrid events, which are partially in person and online. So we were in Austin, Texas, we had about 250 people, and then we were in Boston in September, we had around 300 people. And then we're here in Nelson Mullins, we had like 50 people sign up yesterday. So we're around 300 people for today's event. Before I get started, I wanted to introduce Michael Hollingsworth from Nelson Mullins. He's going to tell us all about the firm, what they do, what his practice is, and go from there.
Thank you, Marty, and we're pleased to host this event today. I'm Michael Hollingsworth, partner at Nelson Mullins, Atlanta. I'm the managing partner of the office and co-chair of M&A and co-chair of investment management practice groups. On the corporate side, our practice is very middle market focused, a lot of private equity related and portfolio company work, as well as family offices. So a large part of our practice is what we're going to be talking about today. But we are a full service firm nationally. We have 25 offices on the East Coast. We started in Boston and then in Miami, and Atlanta is our largest office. West of the Mississippi, we have Denver and a growing office in the LA area in California. Probably looking to grow in California and Texas in the near future. Essentially for family office investors, our firm does practically everything: tax, employee benefits, corporate work, investments. In fact, right now, I've got to go jump on a conference call for a $75 million Series B investment, growth equity that we just started up last week. It's trying to close this Friday. On a short timeline, but we're very, very pleased to welcome this group and hope it'll be a great day. Thank you, Mark.
And Michael, just real quickly, your practice is pretty far, your personal practice is pretty far flung. You're in New York a lot.
Yes.
You have national clients as well.
That's right. I spend, in pre-COVID times, I spend about half my working month in our New York office. That is because we have a lot of private equity clients in New York that we service from all over our East Coast platform. It's sort of a rate arbitrage play for them. We're a lot more cost effective than some of the Wall Street firms, and so it's a really a great opportunity for us to add value to them. So that's where I spend the course.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for hosting us, Michael.
All right, thank you, Mark.
Every time I talk to Michael, he's literally on a plane or driving his car somewhere, and most of the time he's in New York finishing up a deal.
I'm going on Sunday again.
Yeah. So there you go. So fantastic. And so once again, Nelson Mullins has a very storied history. More than 800 lawyers nationally, 25 offices, and they seem to be very up and coming. I think they've acquired several firms in Boston for intellectual property. And if I'd known that, I would have promoted this more to Boston, as right now probably we'll have 75 people joining from California for the event, and about 50 from New York, as well as a pretty significant Georgia audience and other parts of the South. So as many of you know, we do forums all around the country. We used to do around 20 forums a year with smaller audiences, but now we've reduced it to around 12. We'll do one a month with much larger audiences. So we have an upcoming, we used to always do an event during Art Basel, Miami. We've done that event for more than 10 years. Florida's got a fantastic family office scene, and more family offices are moving to Florida. So we will be doing an event in Miami in early December, on December 9th. We'll be in Miami. The people that hosted us last year, the attorney will be hosting us again, a different law firm. And so we expect to have a full day from 8 to 5 p.m., maybe longer, with several significant family offices participating, speaking, etc. Then we have our annual JP Morgan Healthcare Week. JP Morgan Healthcare has gone virtual, but we'll be in San Francisco or Palo Alto. If we can't If for some reason, California draws a line on meetings, we will be in Las Vegas doing a San Francisco and Las Vegas forum on January 12th and 13th, and we expect to have around 500 people online for that, and we'll have 30 to 40 people in person, et cetera. We always do them in New York during February. If New York has not opened up fully, we'll be back in Boston, or else we'll be in Puerto Rico. And although South by Southwest has gone virtual, we will be back in Austin, Texas that week. So, some people are asking, when is this whole COVID thing going to end? I don't know when COVID's going to end, but my prediction for this year is that we're going to have a very low flu season. Because people are being so safe, and actually, it's kind of worthwhile because with somebody who has kids, and every year they get sick, in October from interacting with each other. It's really great that my kids are not sick this year from flu. So that's really fantastic. So we're going to talk about real estate here. I've got some great speakers from the Atlanta area, South, who invest in the Carolinas as well, and in Florida. And so I really want to get a flavor, because we have an international audience today of what it is, what investing in Atlanta is like. I mean, obviously, for people who invested in New York and California for years, very difficult to get a cash on cash return. A lot of profitability was seen as being in the exit, et cetera. We've had opportunity zones, people pitching that, and opportunity zones have underperformed in this space. Whereas I think originally the target was for like $100 billion plus investment in opportunity zones. It's been about, reality, it's about $3 billion of committed capital has actually been put to work, with about another $3 billion that has been, put into funds waiting to be deployed. So they've underperformed in terms of, what their original mission was. I always think that if people want to put money into the economy, just put $100 billion into opportunity zones today, and you'll see things take off, right? Although I think we'll see some property appreciation as well. So I wanted to get started. Kevin Holmes runs Springboard Advisory, and he's going to be leading the discussion today. So I'm going to ask Kevin to step on up and introduce himself, and then have the panelists introduce themselves as well. And I hope that Matt Knight is on line today. I know that he was signed in. And also, unfortunately, Mateen Khalid from Dubai is not able to make it. He's under the weather. So, but Kevin's going to get started. So Kevin, take it away. And you take it.
Thank you, Marty. It's great to be here this morning. As Marty mentioned, my name is Kevin Holmes, and I run Springboard Advisory. We help investors target opportunities here in the Atlanta area. We're active also in Philadelphia. We have a couple assets in New York. So we try to go up and down the East Coast. We also do development work, local development work here. I'd like to really welcome our three panelists today. We have Robert Mason from Mason Capital Partners, Karen Kassoff from Cedar Ventures, and Matt Knight from PropTech Angel Group. And with that, I'd like to just jump right in and ask each of our panelists to just give a sort of a really brief sketch of their firm. And then we'll go into some questions that will, address some of the issues with regard to post-pandemic opportunities in real estate. So why don't we start with Robert, and then we'll go to Karen, and then finally Matt. Robert.
Robert, can we move you closer to the center so that way people can see you?
Okay.
You want to sit? That's great.
Okay, just move close.
Just move the seat over closer.
Okay, how's this?
Yeah, we can see you now.
Okay, great. Sorry, it's weird to do this virtually.
No worries.
Robert Mason, it's nice to meet you all, if that's what this is. I run Mason Capital Partners. It's basically an extension of a family business that started in the 1980s when my family sold a peach farm in Georgia and started a real estate investment business. So I grew up in the real estate business and loved it. I worked outside of our family's firm for most of my career, started with CV, then went to Wharton and worked with Hines in Chicago, and then ran acquisitions for the Southeast region for Lincoln Property Company. I left in 2007, started my own company. And then we've kind of morphed into a collection of high net worth investors and family offices that invest effectively at the sponsor level, and work with partners like Lincoln Property Company, specifically in Florida, though we work with them in Dallas as well, and Open Land here in Atlanta and other firms. We focus on finding the right operating partners. Our role really is to come in early and help finance the project, to bring some of the pursuit dollars and early capital, the riskiest capital. We'll also help bring the debt or help bring the partner equity. We typically target large deals, and we like being in markets where we feel like the supply and demand dynamics are in our favor. We've done about 100 projects